Alrighty, new week. Let's talk Alabama weather headlines here as we get set to head into the back half of February. Man, it's flying by, and you'll certainly get a taste of spring here statewide. Very warm through Thursday. We do have an unsettled late week, into the early part of the weekend, and of course behind any system this time of year. How cold do we get? We'll break all that down here moving forward. I like to take a look at the upper level view. So we're going to hop into this and start really in the middle of the week. Okay, we've got this ridging in place across the southeast, and this is going to be just enough to keep our temperatures in that realm of the 70s, some perhaps closer to 80 degrees. This is Thursday, probably the warmest day of the week for much of the state. And again, if you're south of I-20, I wouldn't be surprised if 80s are in the cards. But you can see this long wave trough back here to the west, and this is going to be the next feature of note as it dives off to the south and then eventually swings to the east. This is going to be by Friday. And of course, when we talk about these systems, you'll always see the rain out ahead of where the trough is. So here's your trough axis, your upper low is somewhere in here, and then your surface fronts will be out ahead of this. So the rain probably beginning Thursday night into Friday. So we'll take you through into the early part of the weekend, and again you can see that trough in the middle of the country here, and again the rain out ahead of it Saturday afternoon will continue, and then you're going to notice a big dip in the jet stream. So much colder air. These are height values, so when you start to see those blues, purples, pinks, that's a much colder air mass, and that's going to be with us through the early part of next week, and that's going to keep our temperatures back more winter-like, if you will. So let's focus on the short term with those temperatures. This is Wednesday at 3 o'clock, high temperatures off the national blend of models. You can see 80s south of I-20, might even be a sprinkle of an 80 or two in central Alabama. A bit cooler off in the Tennessee Valley region. So again, warmest temperatures late in the week, and it'll even be warm on Friday as that front approaches. It will, especially in the southern half of the state, get to I-65, 85, and points south towards the Wiregrass will be in the 80s. It looks like pretty easily at ahead of that next rain chance, which the rain will get there a little bit later. So let's go to some modeling here. This is the GFS model. This is Thursday evening, kind of when our window for rain opens, depending on what model you look at. So some light rain possible Thursday night into Friday. This will kind of be that round one of rain, off and on rain, maybe some thunder Friday afternoon. And then by the time we get into early Saturday, the final trough swings through here, and this will have a better rain coverage associated with it. So look for rain, some thunderstorms. Severe weather does not look likely with this at all. The bigger story with this is going to be the cold air behind. Here's a look at the European model. Same time window, Thursday night into Friday. This is Friday morning, and the Euro is going to show a little bit more aggressive with the rain, and you'll see it lasting for longer on Friday, better coverage on Friday, and then Saturday, a pretty good swath of rain all through the southeast. But this one has a little bit of a faster solution, showing the second half of Saturday a bit drier, and this one's also going to accelerate the timing of the colder air arriving. The sooner the rain gets out, the sooner that cold air can filter in. Rain totals for the next 7 days off the WPC. Again, this is looking at an average over an area, so it will not be exact, but you can see it's picking up on that kind of maximum there in spot into central Alabama, just north of Montgomery, from Demopolis to Clanton to Talladega, and that kind of showed what the Euro did with that banding of rain right there in the middle of the state. But everywhere it looks to get a half-inch plus, lesser rain totals to the south. And then it's all about the cooler temperatures. This is Sunday morning. Again, the national blend of models, because the Euro and the GFS kind of all over the place with solutions this far out. But it is going to be cooler. Sunday afternoon, highs in the 50s, northern half of the state, 60s to the south. And then potential freeze for the northern half of Alabama on Monday morning. You can see down to the south will be in the 30s and 40s, but very chilly start to the week, especially compared to what we're going to have here the next couple of days. Tuesday could easily be the coldest morning. 20s for the Tennessee Valley, even all the way down to I-20, and potential spotty freeze down in the Wiregrass. High on Tuesday afternoon, likely around 50 for the northern half of the state, mid-50s as you get from Birmingham down to Montgomery, and upper 50s, maybe near 60 degrees for the southern extent of Alabama. So long term here, days 8 through 14, this would take us into early March, again favoring that ridging above average temperatures for much of the country. So this should put us back on that warmer trajectory as we get to that point in the forecast. So again, a warm next several days ahead. You'll probably start to notice some of those weeds, like in my yard, sprouting through. And then, of course, this time of year, certainly not the safe time if you're going to do any planting, because we will have several freezes left, especially in northern Alabama. So just be ready for a bit of a roller coaster here as we head into March. Very typical big transition time of the year. It's your forecast here for early week, your week ahead weather. Have a great day.